Hi everyone, this is January 2022 and I am here to introduce you to the puzzle joints. Now the puzzle joints are a set of tools that enable Blendercam to make various shapes with puzzle joints. So you can make just a single joint if you want with the Blendercam. And so what a joint has for attributes, it has the size of the stem. So 1 equals the tool diameter in here, and also makes the shape. So if you choose the different tool diameter, the joint itself is going to be larger. It makes sense. The tool wouldn't be able to go inside. Alright, so the tool, the joint also needs some playroom. Now the playroom is the difference between the plug and the receptacle. If you make these the same, you will not be able to insert the parts into one another unless you use a hammer. So here's a tolerance that I use, 0.06 millimeter, and it makes the receptacle, and you see here the receptacle is larger than the actual finger, so they actually fit in one another. As you can see, they're not quite the same, but they could be if you make the finger plate to be 0. Okay, so make a puzzle joint again. So now it's just a joint, and you can choose the amount of fingers if you want. Maybe if you want to make your own block or something, then you get your set of receptacles and set of fingers. Alright, so that one, and so the simplest part after that would be the bar. Now the bar is just that, just a bar with a length. Let's make it smaller, just so we can see, and a height. And so the height can be as big or as small as you want. So if you want to join a whole board, for example, well, you might want a long joint. So you can choose, I don't know, 1 meter to demonstrate the length. And if you don't know the size, the amount of fingers that you need, you put 0 here. It's a little tip, and it's going to self-calculate. I think it should self-calculate the amount of fingers. And if you change the finger size, then it changes. So 10, make the finger larger itself. Right. So now you can join boards together if you want. So let's stick with 25 millimeters at this point. Right. So what are other shapes that we can make? Well, we can make an arc. Here's a 45-degree arc. You can make a any angle that you want. So if you choose 90, for example, make 90. The smaller angle, though, might impede on the actual finger joint that you have. So if you use less than 30, let's see, 30 might be the excuse me, 30 might be the smallest angle that you can make here. Let's try 22 and a half. Yeah, 22 and a half would cut, so that's not good. So 45 would be a good angle here. Oh. Right. So you can choose male only, just a receptacle, or male female. Right. So the reason you can choose one or the other is that you may want to build your own blocks, so this allows you to do that. If you add twist lock, that doesn't work really well on this size. Let's make it 90. Right, so the twist lock is a twist lock joint, and it's created by the interlock joints. So it is made to connect after the puzzle is connected. It is made to have a twist part engage in the twist lock. So let's start again. So if you add twist lock separator, it makes a shape like this, which would fit in these twist lock after they're locked. So we'll talk about that a little later. Put a pin in that. Okay, so here are some more fun shapes. We have arc bar, so that's exactly what you think it is. It's an arc with a bar, and you can choose two receptacles. You can choose a male only, 2 males, and again you can choose twist lock separate. Right. So the angle here can be 90, can be 180, it can be minus. So a lot of options here. Right, so now we'll choose another type of joint, which is the arc bar arc. And the arc bar arc is exactly what you think: an arc on one side and an arc on the other, and a bar in the middle. So here's a fun shape that you can make, but you can also make 45 and 45 to get a sort of a wider shape. You can also change the radius of the arc to be larger. and smaller. Now, the important thing about the dimension is if you use arc bar arc, let's see, okay, and you use the width of 150 millimeter, then it's the 150 millimeter with the curve. So the final object would be 150 millimeter. Let me demonstrate here. Let me make one 25 millimeter for arc, and let's make it 90. Right, so this part here should be 150 millimeter. Now, if we check the item, it says 150 right there, the X dimension. But if I choose 45 degrees, it's not going to be 150. It's going to be missing the rest of the arc here. Alright, so that's just so it's easier to design pieces that are a certain width. You don't have to take into account the actual radius of the curve, but you can make the parts that fit. So if you have like a hole or a space that you want to be a certain size, then you choose the size that you want to excuse me, the final width to be, and then you can generate it to have a final product. So I have something which is 14 inch or 115 millimeter. It is 350 millimeter, and I use twist lock. So use twist lock here. As you can see, the finger is a little flimsy, and you might want to play with the size of the stem. 4 might be better for you. You have to check on either side. And so I added twist locks here, but I want more reinforcements in the middle also. So add twist to bar. So I added 3 twists. I think it's a little too much amount of separators. I'm going to use 2 instead. So there you go. The twist bars are going to allow you to extrude several of these flat surfaces along the other dimensions. And alright, so let's look at other shapes. The twist bar separator again. You can choose how much spacing you want, and separate your edge distance. So you can have a large 20 millimeter edge here, or you can have something that's less obstructive to be, I don't know, 4 millimeter. All right. Remove that, and the twist lock itself, I'm not going to go into the actual dimensions on it, but the twist thickness is the thickness of your material, and the twist neck is the percentage of the width here that's going to be part of the interlock. Okay, so let's remove that. Let's see other shapes. Okay, so right now we have T-curves. Right, so T-curve, you can probably make shells with them or use your imagination here. Let's make it smaller. Now the T-curve is particular because you can make the width even smaller and even smaller. Right, so if you make the width smaller, it's still going to be a valid shape, but as you can see, it's not going to extend out, but you can still link to it. Alright, so use 100 for this. Now you can use the genders, you can change that. You can have a male receptacle, receptacle only, male only. So male receptacle here, and the other one is male receptacle if you want to make a T or a cross, and oops, and just a receptacle or just the male. Alright, so that gives you a good overview. Again, I think you can use twist lock on here. Yeah. So twist locks are available, and let's try to find another corner. Okay, this is a corner bar. Alright, so this is just a corner, so if you want, the width should be the same as the height. So there you go, just a nice corner. I think you can't add twist lock to corners because they would interfere here, so that's not working well. And yeah, so you can have a male and receptacle only, but of course if you use receptacle only, you might get some not so good things happening here at a smaller size. If you choose 30, you should have adequate. Right. Okay, so that's that. Oh. Use the multi-angle is not working right now, so I'll fix that. It says it's not unhappy. The bar itself, I'll choose a larger size. That was too large. Right, so the bar itself, can use miters instead. So you can miter a bar, and you could choose, you can make a frame with it. So you can choose miters of different angles. You can even choose inverse angles. And yeah, that's basically it. So it'll match with your other things. The only thing is the mitered bar would probably just work with the mitered its own with another mitered bar. So yeah, good way to make a 45 degree angle. So So that's basically it for the, oh, there's one missing, the open curve. Here's how to use that. We need a curve for that. And I do have a curve stored here somewhere. Just an open curve. And choose puzzle joints and open curve here. And what it does is it makes a puzzle joint on either end of the curve as well as inflating it. So you can add twist locks to it. So if you use the same joint, you can use this along with a bar. You can use it with another curve. It's possible to make a very large structure with this capability. So we can make something like basically anything which is two-dimensional and needs to be extruded. So bus stop shelter, for example, things like that. That would be very nice with this. And so that concludes the curve and puzzle joints for now. I might add some other shapes if somebody else is interested, but for now it is probably what we're going to be using. It gives a lot of possibilities, and I can't wait to see what people actually do with it. So having said that, have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you made it this far, and I will and come and see us in Blendercam. We have a channel on the Matrix, so it's called Blendercam, and you can ask questions there, and we can make you can make suggestions, and we can help you out. There's a lot of different people from different places who are more than willing to help out, including myself. So have a great day.